It is Pick Central, Barstool's daily gambling show. Pick Central brought to you by the good folks at Fireball Whiskey. Free your fire with an ice-cold shot of Fireball. Sometimes life can get serious on us, and when it's time to unwind, when the adult responsibilities are overwhelming, you turn to your good friends at Fireball Whiskey. It's the number one shot in the United States of America. It's good for a tailgate party. It's good for just a party after work with your boys. It's good for whatever, a happy hour. It's always going to let you say F it and free your fire. It's all about flipping the script on life, turning everyday events into ones you'll be talking about for years. Next time you're deciding between adulting and fun, say F it and free your fire with an ice-cold shot of Fireball. What's up, boys?
What's going on?
The Dallas Cowboys 23, the New York Football Giants 16 in a, I don't know, not a beautiful Monday night game. Certainly wasn't a work of art. The last two primetime games have not painted the prettiest picture for the NFL, but I came away with one take. First of all, we got very, very, very close to delivering an 8-1 winner for the people.
Well, it's a damn shame nobody said move the line up a little bit.
I know.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're just –
Who said that?
No. I just feel like Marty. I just feel like we're all getting along, and it's a team game. And all of a sudden, he wants to do individual accolades. Is that what you want to do?
Listen, we're plus on the parlay plus. It's a huge.
It
team
paid
effort.
out. It paid out.
The fact that first off, how do they always know to be right there?
It was impressive. It was something. Yeah. So it hits at 39, or the game total gets to 39. That's exactly where it was. Rico did say, let's move the line up to like 42, and I said no. I said that's kind of stupid.
That was the kiss of death from the get-go. Like, you knew it was going to land on it right there. We were doomed from that moment. So,
and
it's just funny.
This player that Big Ev invented yesterday, this Richie James fella that nobody had ever heard of.
Football player.
He caught the first pass.
Bro,
That's what you tweeted. He literally their first play from scrimmage, they drew it up for him, and you're like, "Well, he isn't even on the field."
I must not have been
pouring
watching
your sweet tea.
Yeah,
that's perfectly acceptable.
Because I watched Dallas's first possession, then I guess there was a punt or whatever, and then I came back and maybe it was like second down. I didn't see their first play.
Pass that he caught to get over the number
great
was
catch.
First of all, what a throw and what a catch! Like,
honestly, his two catches were great catches. The one over the middle too.
Who the hell is Richie James?
Richie James.
I told you, Richie James and David Sills. That's who he
They
throws.
were the two
Nice
most
little
featured guys. Yeah.
Shepard.
I mean,
And now Shepard's done.
the fact that Kenny Galladay just absolutely fleeced Dave Gettleman.
Oh,
He should never step foot in the league
$72 million?
position again.
4 years, 72.
Unbelievable.
More than half, I believe, guaranteed as well.
Wasn't there a report yesterday that the Packers were about to trade for Tony and Galladay after the game?
And he'll go there and do amazing things.
Yeah,
my
Rodgers.
God.
He'll score 10 touchdowns
Be
over
incredible there.
Honestly,
Stafford did for
Tony's the one who I know he's kind of an oddball character, but he's a player for real.
You guys didn't think that Daniel Jones played bad, did you?
I think
There was some good. There was some good and some bad.
I think the New York Giants offensive line struggled a lot.
Oh, yeah.
The Dallas's
I think Dallas's defense impressed me the most.
Dallas Cowboys are a pretty good football team.
Their front seven is very good.
I mean, they were awful against the Bucs, but that's one game. I think they're going to be, when they get their offense back and where they want it to be, if they can get it close, they're going to be good.
Hey, even in that
Micah
Bucs
Parsons is the best defensive player in the league.
he might be.
I don't even think that's a question. Well,
I still say
Donald,
Donald, but he's great. But even that Bucs game, they were bad because the offense. I mean, they did well against the Bucs offense, and that was when they were pretty healthy.
If Cooper Kupp can keep them in games, I mean, Eagles aren't running away with the
Cooper
NCAA.
Rush.
Great, Cooper Rush, correct.
Okay, that's all right. Just correcting you because you said something really stupid.
Well, you say Cooper Kupp over and over and over again. I've other Coopers
well, you
in my
don't.
life,
It's
and
not like you
Rush
say Cooper Kupp very often.
And you do.
Plus, Cooper Rush is a quarterback.
The
Totally different position.
Low Cooper Kupp on a daily basis.
It was driving me nuts. They kept bringing up how we had cut him in the off seasons. I'm like, all right, we get it.
He's not great, but he's serviceable.
I mean,
He threw some good balls.
I think if you're a Giants fan, you still got to. You're 2-1. Like you're
fine.
Yeah, you're fine. This is.
I like the
fine at this point of the season.
Yeah, I mean, like with the Daniel Jones thing, that's what I want to talk about too. How because I thought the general, I was getting very mixed reviews on Twitter. Me watching it personally, I just there were some sacks that were his fault. There was definitely there was a few that definitely were not his fault. I mean, he overall was relatively accurate. There were some drops. I agree with Marty. I didn't think he played terrible. I mean, I thought he played decent. all things considered. But I mean,
He's just an easy.
I also don't know if he's an easy he picked up a lot of first down with his legs, but
His rushing over crushed.
yeah, no, I mean he made a lot of great plays in that aspect, and I appreciated that watching him because he was one to put on the line. And I appreciated the one.
He bails out fast sometimes, and then when
He does.
then when he doesn't bail out fast, he holds it too long. Like
Sure.
he hasn't found.
Well, I think he started bailing out sooner because he was having some success with it, and I think guys weren't really getting open downfield, and he's not the biggest stretch the field with his arm guy. And also, we just don't really have receivers to
we
do
don't
that
have
with.
one. We have one reception over 25 yards this year.
And Galladay drops everything that comes to him. So I mean,
And look-
now Shepard's out. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Daniel Jones has a very dumb face. People like to make fun of him.
He's goofy.
I
But
think he has an average face.
I think he's got kind of like the Eli Manning face, where it's like he looks dumbfounded by everything. But the thing is, he didn't play like everyone's kind of blaming him. The interception at the end, fucking Sills fell or whatever, and he didn't turn the ball. He really didn't turn the ball over. That doesn't count to me. He didn't fumble. Long as he doesn't fumble, I mean, it's hard to do what he's doing when he's fucking getting rushed every single time, and his receivers are practice squad guys.
Are you worried about the Bears at all? Because not a bad defense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's gonna be a
because their
similar.
quarterback stinks.
I think it's gonna be a similar type of game.
I think we. I think we had Big Ev yesterday on the cusp of saying Justin Fields is not good.
Well, no,
He wouldn't come out and say
you
it.
know what?
first place Fields.
Big F.
First place Fields.
He won the game. So
He's
you know,
tied for first place, Mark.
No, he's just speaking
people
about
get
Baker.
upset. People get upset when you win games. It's like no matter what, you won the game. What do you want him to do? You want him to fucking throw for 1,000 yards?
Tebow.
He won. Put him in a good spot.
Ebo, the two quarterbacks at hand, Big Ev's quarterback and Marty's quarterback. Where do they rank in whatever rating you had yesterday?
Yeah, so PFF grade, they're 32nd and somehow 33rd.
33rd in
How
a
is he 33rd?
32-team league. He's 33rd.
Doesn't make any sense. That's how dumb PFF is
The
in
two,
stat guys
the two
because they don't even know how to
49ers
teach
Two
it.
Trey Lance
49ers
and
quarterbacks
Garoppolo.
are qualified.
2 49ers.
Trey Lance
guys played them.
fucking threw the ball twice. The thing is, let me get my Baker thing off fast. Look, he didn't play great, but he played good enough to win. What else do you want him to do? He's one game behind. That division's up for grabs. The Bucks are not that good.
I don't think that division's up for grabs. I think the Bucks are going to win the division pretty easily because the rest of the teams are god-awful.
Saints are bad.
Well, the Falcons are not that bad.
The Saints are bad.
You're going to owe me lunch.
Saints are bad.
What?
Falcons over the Panthers.
They have the same record.
Who's got more upside?
I don't know if I think the Panthers are still better than the Falcons.
Falcons are not that bad.
Falcons are the not that bad team of the year, no doubt. 3-0 against the spread, undeniable.
Falcons ain't that bad. Ricky.
I agree. I like how you hated the not that bad last year, and now
I never hated the not that bad. I was driving.
I think that was the most fun we had because I was the one that's saying the Lions weren't good, and you guys were saying they were.
Well, they weren't that bad.
Have you guys seen the stat about the Lions with losses compared to everybody else?
No.
In their whatever, it's like in their losses, they have an unbelievable against the spread record. And it's like every other team losses 25% when they cover the spread.
Yeah.
I wish I could see the actual. It's I'll try to find it. It's like a disgusting stat. It's mind blowing when you see it.
Oh.
Let me find it.
Oh, wow.
Vikings suck.
The Vikings don't suck. Do
I
they?
don't
The
think
Vikings
they're a
suck?
good team. I don't think they're a very good team.
I was a Vikings guy preseason. I'm not as hot. Like if they do turn it around, they'll be like, oh great, I got something to root for. I'm not optimistic.
Pretty bold of you to say you're not as high on them after they start 1-2.
Yeah, because I've seen it unfold. I'm not even trying to spin. Put it this,
Like 2-1.
Are they two?
Yeah, they are. They're 2-1. Their only loss was 2.
And also, they're still a wild card team. They're the definition of a wild card
But
team.
that's right. They
But
beat the
can't
Lions
win,
on
they
Sunday.
can't win the
yeah.
division.
Yeah.
You know, they might be right at the win total. So rather than me getting all worked up for the Vikings, whatever unfolds.
They will take care of the bad teams.
I have an exciting announcement. We have a new sponsor, unless they were sponsored last week when I wasn't here. We have a new sponsor. Is this new or were they here last week? They were here last week? Never mind.
Steaks?
Omaha Steaks are delicious.
Oh yeah,
Delicious, baby.
Omaha Steaks are delicious. From tailgate parties to busy weeknights, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all of the flavors of fall with their mouth-watering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra-juicy burgers, and easy-to-prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Take advantage right now. 50% off site-wide of their semi-annual sale. Sale only happens twice a year. That's why it's semi. And it's on now with 50% off delicious customer favorites. And when using the promo code PICKS at checkout, take an additional $30 off your order. So that's 50% off and then $30 off that. Pretty fucking good. Shouldn't have cussed. Omaha Steaks, the world's best beef, naturally aged for the ultimate in tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. Every steak, every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready to share with your family. Go to omahasteaks.com, enter PICS at checkout, PICKS, and stock up on fall flavor today. That's code PICS at checkout to score an extra $30 off your order. omahasteaks.com.
How do you like your steak, Brandon Walker?
Medium rare.
Okay.
Closer to rare, but medium rare.
It's fair.
What's your favorite cut of steak?
Oh, filet.
Oh, God. See, that's such a basic bitch answer.
Ribeye.
Ribeye. It's ribeye. It's ribeye.
I don't care.
I like a wagyu.
Oh, of course you like it. That's not. That's cheating.
That's good.
Where did we ever settle up with?
Also, that's not a cut of steak.
Where did we ever?
That's a type of steak.
Where did the Capitol Grill bet go?
Didn't Stu fucking take
He
it
took
from me?
us out for something
Stu
else.
Took it from, he said it for me, no? I'll rebet it. I really
What do
will.
you mean you'll rebate? You
already
never
owe
paid
it.
off the other one.
Yeah, double. You guys don't like double or nothing?
Double or nothing. It's been 2 years.
Hungry.
Wouldn't mind going and getting a
Getting
Capitol
in
Grill.
microwavable pot pies for lunch. I would love Capitol Grill.
Let's do it. A double or nothing, but I'll make it harder for me to win.
No, we're not doing double or nothing. You already lost.
I eat
What was your original bet? What was that?
with the Yankees and Rays or something like that.
I
Don't even. It's a rabbit.
don't remember.
Just saying.
It was like 2019.
It was a long time ago.
I do kind of like some element though of like where if we go head to head, you do like King of the Hill or when you go like so. Hey, I'm on the Cardinals tonight. You're on the Brewers. Like the point system of that.
Are you on your microwavable pot pie game right now?
Yeah.
You down bad? What's going on?
No. I like them. I'm just saying. Compared to the Capitol Grill, which one would you take?
I don't know. My mom's chicken pot pie is pretty good. Chicken pot pie.
I never had it.
If you can get a good one, it's really fucking good.
Never had it.
You northern guys don't know what you're talking about. Okay, very good.
It's better things than pies.
Well, it's not a pie.
Well,
Oh, there's crust involved.
Yeah, but it's not a pie. But it's
it
not,
literally says it's pie.
but it's, yeah, well, cheesecake says it's cake, but it's a pie. Like there are things that say what they're not, but they are. Anyway, we move on. It's college football recap day. Yesterday we recapped the NFL. But before we get to that, I have decided I am tired of that idiot over there, Marty Mush, hijacking shows with his nonsense. But I do like him. So he is going to get 1 minute every day to talk about whatever topic he wants to talk about. It is the Mush Minute, and he now has 1 minute to talk about whatever he wants.
Wait, can we explain that? I get my minute.
Right.
But should it be a group vote if we should pass on or open up pass it or the open discussion, or is it just you?
I think we'll know. I'll be the jury of this.
All right.
Okay.
Today is all right.
Hold on. For about 5 seconds, I'm going to vamp here, and then I'm going to let you go in 5 seconds.
Gotta do the Francesa.
3, 2, 1, go.
This one's a real thing I got upset about. Reggie Bush went on a podcast basically saying that the NCAA, the way they took away his Heisman Trophy, NCAA, and we want to say NCAA?
Go ahead, you got it.
NCAA, but
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Anyway, he went on about saying how the NCAA went on to just only have one conference call with him. One conference call about what happened with taking away the Heisman, and that's all he got to talk about, and they took it away. All he did, his parents got kicked out of housing. Got kicked out of housing after with 1 day left, and because the owner of the house wasn't paying the bills, not them, so somebody let them stay in the house until further notice. So the NCAA is a piece of shit and should give him the Heisman back because they did no investigation. And the guy who took away the Heisman, Reggie Bush said that he has a longer list than the Cheesecake Factory.
all right. That is the Mush Minute. Now,
It's a lot harder to do it in a minute.
that is
Could have went in depth.
that is the Mush Minute. I don't think you were capable of going in depth on that topic.
Could've.
But I will open that for discussion because I think it is pretty much universally agreed that Reggie Bush should have his Heisman back, Big Ev. I mean, I don't think that's a
I
wild
don't
take.
even think it's universally agreed. In my mind, Reggie Bush has the Heisman.
But he doesn't have it.
I know he doesn't physically have it, but just like USC winning that championship, you can't. You're not taking it.
They like
How'd they go get it?
Like forced him to mail it. He said that. They forced him to pack it up and mail it.
You had to come rip it off my hands.
LaShawn McCoy was like,
you're gonna come pick it up if anything.
LaShawn McCoy was like, I don't know where it is. Like, I forgot where it went. I don't know. You guys come get it. But I just think it's crazy though that was good. I think it's crazy that the only opportunity he got was a conference call.
Well, because it wasn't a real opportunity. It was more them just saying, "Yeah, we're taking."
They were taking it. They had the decision. They had the decision no matter what before that.
And it really was expanding on pretty much was just like an agent. Basically, let his parents stay in a new place.
Because
that's pretty much what it was.
Kicked, they were evicted. They were homeless.
Yeah, they were having some problems. Yeah, some financial problems.
I think that's probably finagling, spending, or, bending the truth a little bit. Like he was taken care of by USC.
Sure, no doubt, no doubt about it.
But the way
but I think it was more the agent than it was actually USC. Was my understanding.
Yeah, but he was taken care of. Like it was. He was taken. He was given some things.
Oh, I'm sure.
The rules, but
think he was
that worth taking the Heisman away? No.
Do you think he's the number one NIL guy?
No, I don't think he would have been. I think Tebow would have been bigger.
I think.
I still think Manziel.
Tebow's in the SEC. Tebow also played 2 more years after his Heisman year.
He
played a full 4 years.
Tebow looks like the guy next door.
They're the one.
White people love Tebow.
Like a religious element.
Even white people loved Bush.
They don't like him not as much as Tebow though.
He was cold.
Like I don't know. Maybe it's more nostalgic because I was like I just
okay.
remember
White dudes your age and everybody that watch football love Bush. White moms on Facebook love Tebow.
That's totally fair.
And people would love Tebow. Like that's
because my argument with Bush was that he was. I know he wasn't the big outward religious guy, but he was extremely brand friendly. Also, in 2005, running back was what quarterback is now. You were running back in that time. Running back was a very much more the premier position.
But I think he had half the time as a star in college at Tebow.
No, that's a fair argument. That Tebow had 3 full years.
Right.
Reggie really had 2 full years essentially. I think it's close. I think it's I think to me they're the clear 1-2. No doubt about it. Either or.
Johnny would have made bank.
I think
but
he's
see,
arguable.
Johnny was being the party animal. I think he was slightly less brand friendly. Also, only 2 years.
I think Johnny would have made a.
But I'm saying I think Reggie Bush is getting the Pepsis and the I don't know if Manziel's getting.
Johnny Manziel couldn't go to class. People would he had crowds of people finding out what his class
also Reggie
was.
Bush that Hollywood.
Yeah,
that was Hollywood when USC was the program.
Johnny was wasn't he hanging out with Drake in college?
He was
he was.
But I'm saying that was more cooler. So
I think that's your top 3.
I agree, but I'm saying pure NIL money. I just think if you look at a Fortune 500 clean companies, they would rather invest in a Reggie Bush type than a Manziel type. He was out partying, doing all this crazy stuff.
But
Bush was just ball, and that was it.
Well, that makes the argument for Tebow too, because
no doubt,
nobody's saying no to investment.
What about
I agree with that, but the only caveat is at a certain point would Tebow kind of be hey, I just want to play football and, focus on the playbook.
He might say that, but I doubt the brand machine behind him would actually agree to that.
Yeah, he does have a kind of a dry personality.
He's also he's
I think
the guy's had written books. The guy's done a lot of things to make money.
Okay,
he had people behind him making those moves and whatever. While he was just working on football.
I just feel to Ev's point though, if back-to-back nights, Jay Leno and Letterman had Tebow and Reggie Bush, as a viewer, you'd be Reggie Bush is fun. And you only had $100 to spend. You'd be spending it on Reggie Bush, given his personality.
I don't know. Does Reggie Bush have a personality?
His on-field person,
think he can make
more box office.
Tebow was treated by half of Middle America as God.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Tebow,
I'm watching that. Obviously,
Tebow plugged into a demographic that has nothing but money. Nothing but money.
Kids beg their parents to buy shit though, and if they think Reggie Bush is cool,
I remember being that kid.
I disagree with you. I think Reggie Bush is a million times cooler, especially when playing. But Tebow had it all when it comes to NIL and marketing when he was playing.
I just think
100%.
Even the fact that they could have shoe deals you're buying Reggie Bush's shoes, not Tebow's.
Yeah,
I think a lot more people buy Tebow than you think.
I bought Johnny Manziel stuff. I literally bought the Money Manziel shirt.
Reggie was just Reggie was the guy, man. I know Tebow was too, but Reggie just, I don't know. I just think you talk about the personalities. I'm saying play field personality. Reggie was electric. Tebow was a good player, and he had big plays, but he wasn't this doing spin moves, breaking for 80. That wasn't his style.
jump pass.
big
I mean,
differentiator.
we'd never seen a jump pass before he did it.
Sure, but that was 1-2 times he did that. Like Reggie was out here like just
Yeah, if Reggie got to play Fresno State every night, he was going to have a highlight.
he played in the Pac-12 when it was. I mean, he was out here doing it against everybody.
Played Notre Dame. He played Oregon. when they
yeah,
were in
Also,
it.
the SEC wasn't as good back then either as it is now.
Well, it was. Tebow was the start of the SEC dominance.
But I'm saying, but that was like USC had it. Like they were the reign first. They were like the kings of college football for that early basically right after Miami it was like Miami and then USC.
To his point, that's when the SEC started.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dominant. I do agree with that.
Manziel was a legend.
They've never turned back since.
If Manziel had it together and stayed all 4 years, like he's in that conversation.
Yeah, he would have made a lot of money.
That's a win for the Mush Minute.
I think the big differentiator is Tebow. Tebow had the pose. Tebow had the pose, and that's sellable. That's way more sellable
People
than
again
anything that-
forget he saved a guy on the foul line. Guy was dead, brought him back to life.
I'll never forget the first time I saw Tebow. It was an ESPN feature about him as like a junior in high school.
Yeah.
And the first minute is him going absolutely berserk in the huddle. And like me and my brother watching, like, man, this fucking kid is something. Like
Hoover on the two-a-days, they went and played them when he was in high school and beat them.
Really?
Yeah. One of the episodes, they went down and played like a Florida team, and it just coincidentally Tebow was the
What's the
quarterback.
name of his high school? Nice?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's Hoover in Alabama. They went down and played them, and they beat them.
Who would have thought the best discussion on the show in a while would be started by the Mush Minute?
The Mush Minute. That was a very good conversation between everybody.
And the discussion we had actually had nothing to do with what you actually
Sparked
said.
it.
I guess you're right.
It sparked it.
You're
You
right.
need a spark for a fire, don't you?
Mush Minute tomorrow, Roe v. Wade.
My
You won't.
I just figured some politics.
Yeah, he's going to come in and Roe v. Wade. What's the better way to fish? Do you get in a boat or do you walk?
Why has like a troll company or marketing company not put two boxers named Roe and Wade against each other?
His boxing's dead.
Fair enough. I'm just saying. Like
Speaking of boxing, really,
speaking of people being dead,
Floyd Mayweather, he is a joke what he's doing, but he's also kind of smart. He's fighting. He fought a
like
guy.
nobody's really known about it. Yeah,
Fought a
but
guy in China. He's fighting this guy Reggie, who's a YouTuber who is 1-3 against TikTokers and YouTubers. And now Floyd Mayweather, he's basically like a DJ for weddings. It's like,
I think
let's
it's-
book him.
He's getting paid.
But again,
I think maybe
He doesn't give a fuck.
no, it's smart.
lot
It's
of people,
smart.
yeah.
But it's also like, all right, if he just is okay with like his legacy and people would then just make the money. Who gives a
I don't think it really tarnishes.
you see that everywhere.
No, it
Like,
doesn't.
you think Eddie Murphy is happy
when you're,
in some
when
of
you're
the
just
decisions
boxing
where
with
he's
like
made,
these
or
are guys he
Adam
doesn't need to train for.
making
They're
money.
scrubs.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's fighting this guy Reggie is like
They're scrubs.
legit. Like
Well, he's been doing it. The
so
one he
bad.
just had, which he's done that a few times. The ones in Asia, they just pay him like a shit ton of money. He goes out and fights some like 22-year-old Asian prospect and just buries him in the first 2 rounds. Like
No,
no one even really knows about it. I don't fault him doing stuff like that. I mean,
I'm like
even the Deji thing. I agree with you. That Deji's the lowest he's
That's
on.
low, man.
No doubt about it. But I mean, if someone told you, "Hey, I'll give you X millions of dollars to go fight this kid who literally could never beat you on his best day or worst day," I mean,
it's just funny that
Dude, he will make money any way possible. You know how much he upsold Dave Portnoy for that Miami property?
oh yeah,
He will make money
1,000%.
any way possible.
I also think it's funny like Jake Paul just like was like he just won't fight him because it's actually a real fight. Like he's got to train for that.
well,
one.
no, but that's the one thing I said. Floyd's smart. I think when he fought Logan, he realized like I need to. That's when he was like, I'm gonna not fight people who are like 3 times my size at this age.
But Jake,
Not even that he beat, like, not even that. I think Logan touched him one time, which even that was enough to be like, whoa, like, there's no reason to play games with dude. Like, he's like almost 50 years old. No reason to fight a dude who's 8 inches taller and 70 pounds heavier than you.
Is he almost 50?
He's got to be 45, I think. No?
Floyd?
Floyd?
Got to be up there, yeah.
Let me look.
He's been famous for a long time.
Closing in on 50.
All right, so I had I've
45
assigned
years
topics now. What was that? What did I say?
45.
45.
So I have assigned topics now, and I said, Rico, bring in 2 topics. I told Big Ed to bring in 2 topics. You told me you weren't going to be here.
I texted. I said.
And Mush isn't allowed to have a topic. He has his own minute.
Yep.
So,
I will interject with a topic if I feel.
okay, I have a topic. Why is Aaron Judge hitting 61 or 62 a big deal?
Because
Why are we breaking into?
I mean,
Why are we? No.
You're a loser too.
Why are we breaking into college football games on Saturday to show Aaron Judge at bats? He is not breaking a record that matters to the national populace. He is not. Is he breaking the Yankees record? Yes, sure. That's fine. That's fantastic. This is not a huge watershed moment in baseball history. This is a great season, an MVP season, an incredible season that should be celebrated. But this is not the summer of 1998 with McGwire and Sosa. This is not Bonds chasing Hank Aaron. This is a guy hitting a lot of home runs. And it should not warrant breaking into college football games on Saturday. The coverage of it is ridiculous.
That's what a preposterous thing.
How is that preposterous?
Because 62, listen, they were all cheat. Like, listen, I'm always like, put them on the Hall of Fame. They were fucking cheaters. Like, 62 is a genuine record. That is the real, like, no asterisks, no nonsense.
Then if that's the case,
if he gets 62, it's a watershed moment.
If that's the case, let's take away the records. Let's take Bonds' career record. Let's take Bonds' home run record. Let's take all of that and say the record is merits. If we do that, then I agree. They haven't done that, Big.
But I think in the world of baseball, like, unwritten, like, there's two.
But look at the last time.
I think 60. There's 73 and there's 61.
Look at the last time someone's hit 60.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a
no one
long
this
time.
isn't changing baseball history, guys. It's not. It doesn't require cutting into college football games to show his at bat.
Okay, this is what I want to say.
It's cutting in for like.
This is what I'm saying. You college football guys are the biggest hardos in the world. There's the game.
A hardo.
Oh, it's a hardo because the game is still on. The game is on. You can still watch your fucking football game in the first quarter when history's happening on the right.
It's not history. That's the problem.
It's still history.
It's not history.
Yes, it is.
62 is history.
But the thing is,
you're forgetting the reason you hate baseball a lot and why baseball's got in its way is it is run by like old people, writers, etc., who want to have this guard and sanctity of baseball. So to them, all these cheaters, they're still mad at them and they're going to try and fuck them as any way they can. So 62 is a reason for them to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like
I know what you mean.
He's partly. You're right for sure.
Oh, I know what you mean, but I put myself in your shoes pretty much. I'm not a Yankee fan. Don't care about it. I did. That wouldn't who gives a fuck? It's a one at bat. You're watching Texas Tech in the first quarter.
What are you upset over? Are you upset over the sanctity of baseball?
No, I'm not.
Or are you upset over you being able to watch half TV of Mississippi State get wild?
I think it's actually a win because you get to watch both without having to change.
That's what I was saying.
I feel like we're putting importance on this thing like it is. We're treating it like it's something it's not. That's my.
It is what you're.
But
saying.
it isn't.
It is though.
Okay, if we take away the records of the steroid guys, fine, but we haven't done that.
But it's like we all know it. Like I said, we all know there's kind of like there's two basically. There's one that's like tainted and there's one that's not.
And you can compartmentalize.
Did we say that before this Judge season? Did we say, I can't wait for somebody to hit 62? Nobody ever said that.
You're right.
No one's come close.
Nobody ever said that.
No. No one ever came close.
People get caught up in the moment.
He's the first one to really actually make a real run.
Tell me the honest to God truth. If he were a San Diego Padre, would you be passionate about this?
Well, it'd be a national.
Would I be as passionate?
Yes.
No, because I'm a Yankees fan. But when it comes to baseball, I would still say it matters the same way.
It's also an American league.
I wouldn't have the same emotions because he's my guy.
Okay, if he were an Angel then.
But no, I would still if it was Trout or Ohtani, whoever, I'd still be like, this is special and we're showing his at bats 100%.
It's like the chicken and the egg. The reason it does matter so much is because he is a Yankee. Like they move.
It helps, obviously,
you know
but
I'm taking myself
even if they pick the fandom out, I think it's still worth. Like if it was another team,
you can't take the fandom out.
You see, I can be partial and just be like, I just think like hitting 61, 62 is massive. It never happens outside the steroid era. It hasn't happened since literally 1961. It's 2022.
61 years.
Think about that.
Like that's so long. Mm-hmm. Like that is worth putting in a bat on TV.
Well, people just love to tweet. Let's tweet. Oh, I love football.
They hate it more. Honestly,
you guys are focusing on the college football aspect.
People hate it more because it's the Yankees.
You guys are focusing on the college football aspect.
There was one way or the other.
Well, you brought the college football aspect.
People are happy to watch it to go, I hope this motherfucker strikes out. Or
everyone wants him to like
just how it goes.
Not hit one.
I generally think it is being treated as this watershed record-breaking moment, and it's not. It isn't.
It is.
It really as much as you say that, it's not.
Okay, let me ask you this: was Pujols hitting 700 a watershed-breaking moment?
Yeah, that's
it's essentially the same thing.
And by the same token, were you, and I hate the Yankees, but were you as excited about Pujols potentially hitting 700 this year? Or when it got close, did you start to say, oh, you know what, that's pretty cool and it's appointment television, I want to see those at bats?
He's not breaking any records.
I wanted to see Pujols.
Exactly. I think
I'll tell you what,
get caught up as guys go.
I get a little sideways with that because I took advantage of the plus 1050 we had, and I had a good bit of change on it.
enough.
So when Pujols was getting close, I was like, okay, well, I need to see every at bat.
Yeah, but if you didn't,
700 has been done before. Like, it's not like he's breaking a record. It just 700 is a milestone I was invested. I'm not a Cardinals fan.
761 have been done about almost the exact same.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
He's the fourth 700, and now Judge is the third clean 60 home run guy, right? So close to the same.
Yeah, no, I thought Pujols was like worthy of having his at bats on TV.
And if you want to take
100%.
clean out, then you could even say that Pujols is the third, because I don't think Bond's 700 home runs are legit at all.
No, that's
I'm just saying. I think
they're similar. The 100%.
What I'm saying is a perfectly logical point of view. What?
Meek Phil walking by in his Mets
I just think that you're also you don't really care about baseball. People just don't care what people in football is on. Some people are like, oh, why do we even care about this? It's just more like when you watch every single game you're watching baseball, it's like this guy needs to be appreciative of what the fuck he's doing.
Baseball's desperate for storylines as well. And
also, one more thing
with coverage of the World Series, when I say it all the time, Sunday Night Football used to be, there was no game in October. The NFL catered to the Major League. After a while, the NFL realized, no, we're the big boy on the block. You don't play the World Series on Sunday night. So baseball's desperate for these storylines, desperate to capture the moment. So when it happens, they're amping it up too. They're hoping the story, they're desperate for it as well.
One more thing. Is Aaron Judge washed? He hadn't hit a home run in like 10 days. God.
You know what's weird,
Starting to get nervous about him.
I mean, Hubs were also saying too, like when it was at Yankee Stadium, it was dead silent. I think that's like, I thought you would be loud for it. They said it was dead silent, phones out. Like, that's just too much pressure on the guy.
All right.
He's only like plus 900 to hit 2 tonight.
I love arguing on the show about sports. Not like just like recapping games. I like that. That's fun.
All right. Well, relax.
Oh, it's good. I'm jacked up.
Okay. Rico, did you have a topic?
I had two quickly. Topic one. I don't think we should lock in totals until game day with weather, with the hurricane in Florida. Should we be leery of is it a weather weekend?
It is a weather weekend. We don't even know if the game's going to get played.
There you go.
Florida, Eastern Washington might get moved to Sunday.
We're a big, lock them in early, totals will move on you. I think you're hit them Saturday morning this week.
Probably not going to spark as much discussion as my thought.
Fair enough. No, you're right. But, hey, listen. Number two. If you think NC State can beat Clemson, they're plus 185 on the money line. Why not just play them at plus 350 to win that conference? Now, I mean, it's basically another part of a question. Like, do you take Florida State seriously? If NC State beats Clemson, aren't they the front runners?
Oh, they are the front runners.
Get that going. Wouldn't you rather be holding 350 than the plus 185 on just the one game?
Or do both, if you believe in it.
It's just it's hypothetical. It was more. I did mine more betting wise.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. If you have the nuts to bet NC State to win this game, if you believe in that, then you should also believe in NC State to win the conference, because this will go a long way. Because they would then have to lose twice.
Yes.
And I don't think there's 2 losses left on that schedule if they're able to win at Clemson.
Wake looks okay now with Hartman. Do you take Florida? I'm pretty sure NC State has Florida State.
Florida State's next 3 games are Wake, Clemson, NC State. All of these teams are intermingling.
Right, so there you go. So I'm just saying, if you were only going to bet one thing, do you roll the dice on NC State at plus 185, or do you tie your money up, which people hate doing, a little bit longer and hold that 350 to win the conference?
Because if they do win this game, their conference odds would go into negative.
I agree, and then they would probably be favored or most likely be favored in the ACC championship game.
Gav, did you have 2 topics?
I did. So I submitted 2, but I actually had another one I talked to Ebo about that I think is better.
Okay.
So this weekend's college football slate, there's 5 or 6 lower seeds playing higher seeds that are significant favorites.
I have them in my hand. The number 14 Ole Miss Rebels are 6.5-point favorites over number 7 Kentucky. Now, there's a couple things at play there. Ole Miss pretty good, hasn't been tested, we don't know. and Kentucky is maybe the most overrated team in the history of football at 7. They should be like 17.
Their helmets are really cool.
Baylor, number 16.
Yeah.
Number 16, Baylor is minus 2.5 against number 9, Oklahoma State. Number 23, Florida State, 7-point favorites over number 22, Wake Forest. Unranked Mississippi State, 4-point favorites over number 17, Texas A&M. Those are the 4 that I have on here. If there's more, I apologize.
Those are the core 4 that I was. The one that also, they're not lower, but
A&M be ranked?
I would say Utah being 10.5-point favorites over Oregon State is a big number as well. Obviously not lower, but just thought it was a big number. But those 4 you listed were the 4 that I was.
Should A&M be ranked?
Of.
No, they should not be.
It's SEC bias, and it's fine.
Listen, I fully admit as an SEC guy, there's a lot of SEC bias in the poll this year. Tennessee and Kentucky are both in the top 10. Neither have any business in the top 10. I think they're like 15 to 20. Alabama and Georgia should be at the very top, and then you intersperse the rest of the SEC. There's just not another special team in the SEC.
Tennessee's been playing pretty well and has.
They're okay. They're okay. They're a 9-3 team.
Well, why don't we get Kansas at 25?
I have no idea. If you're not voting for Kansas, you should not have a vote.
Kansas is that's incredible.
I hope they win so badly this weekend. They're all basically undeniable.
No,
It used to be 25.
4-0.
They've beaten.
Would you bet with certainty they're going to make a bowl?
No.
Honestly, I feel after this week, if they lose to Iowa State, they might be in trouble for it because they go through a gauntlet.
Right. In the Big 12, there are no bad
They
teams.
play like Oklahoma State, Kansas State,
This coach,
Baylor. Like
this
it's a
coach
tough.
made him.
I think they can win one of those games, though.
Well, they can win 2 of those games.
The problem is their offense can score anybody.
They've already won at West Virginia.
Their defense is the problem.
How long
I think they could score on basically anybody.
How long was Les Miles there?
A year and a half.
So is this like his team?
No. This guy brought in transfers.
Yeah. But the quarterback was Les Miles. Started him real early, like 17 years old. It is him. It is him.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
He did play for him. I think it's one of those. This guy obviously is getting the most out of him.
This guy also brought a ton of guys from Buffalo.
Shows you how washed.
He's going to get a. He's going to get a. He's going to get a.
Well, he'll get Nebraska or he'll get a huge deal at Kansas.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah.
His only problem is he's older.
I saw Dion talking about obviously it's his son and they're playing way less competition. Do you think that he should Shedeur should ever be considered in the Heisman?
Listen, Dion works here. Dion's a friend of the program.
I want
Dion's
a real answer.
No.
Yeah, I agree too. I don't think. Obviously, he's.
Win the Heisman?
What?
Can FCS?
Yeah, Steve McNair finished 3rd in 1994 at Alcorn State. An FCS player could win the Heisman. It won't ever happen.
His stats are incredible through week 3, but it's just like they're not playing.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not playing marquee games and marquee competition according to the voters. Is the guy having a hell of a year and a great player? I just don't think an FCS player could do it.
Do you think he has to double their stats?
I think
Steve McNair in '94. By the way, if you ever looked at his stats, probably should have won the Heisman, but he got as close as you're ever going to get. And I don't know.
And that's also not saying. I think Shedeur is actually a really good quarterback.
And the problem with that Sanders has is there are guys in Division I putting up these exact same numbers. Hendon Hooker is putting up these numbers at Tennessee. C.J. Stroud's putting up these numbers at Ohio State.
He has 300 more yards than C.J. Stroud. It's not like it has to be a.
I think for probably not this year, maybe next year or after, they'd have to schedule 1 or 2 big games versus he'd have to go put up 304 touchdowns against.
Yeah.
A low SEC team or
he'd have to beat Ole Miss or he'd have to compete with LSU.
Yeah.
And put up 50, 60 touchdowns, something nuts.
It's really tough to make an argument for anyone playing in the SWAC just because of the level of competition. I mean, there are players that have won the Walter Payton, like Jeremiah Briscoe, who had unbelievable seasons. Cooper Kupp was an unbelievable player at FCS. He never had a chance. So he'll probably have a chance at a Walter Payton award, but maybe not Heisman ever.
No, and the Heisman is an award that is voted on by humans, and
it's weird.
Most humans that vote on that award do not watch the FCS.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I used to call into Francesa and be like, "Mike, you paying attention to Boise out there?" He's like, "No, those games are on too late." He's a Heisman voter. Mm-hmm. Admittedly said, "I go to bed. I don't watch the late games." Mm-hmm. No, he's right. I'm having fun with it, but it's definitely true. You ask a lot of people who vote for the Heisman, they couldn't tell you who Jay Kaner was. He's respected. They couldn't tell you Oregon State's having a good year. You know what I mean?
I have a quick topic that's interesting.
Yes.
So there's a theory going around that trap lines set by Vegas are basically done because social media and everything is putting the shark lines out there, and you don't have to call into, it's not 1991. You have to call into Stu Feiner to try to get the sharp line. Good example of that this week, Bengals -3.5 at home against the Dolphins.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that Vegas, not all the time, they're just throwing out the normal lines now. There's no such thing as a trap line anymore.
Okay, so they're not even trying to rope-a-dope us.
Why is that -3.5?
A lot of people are talking about it. They're not roping anyone in. It's just what it should be. And I kind of do agree with some of these lines.
What about the Nebraska-Oklahoma line a couple of weeks ago where they tricked a bunch of us?
I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm saying it's an interesting theory that's out there.
More in NFL too, but I don't know.
NFL lines are tighter for sure, but I don't know. I know there's still definitely. I mean, there's certain teams that I think like Vegas knows the team is like talented, and they kind of give them the benefit of the doubt for that. Well, but that's where you see like for example like Kentucky Ole Miss, like they see the number 17 versus number 14. And the number 14 team is a touchdown favorite. Mm-hmm. That's a huge number.
And I think college, you can find. I mean, there's so many college games out there. You can find the weaknesses. You can beat Vegas better than you could beat NFL. NFL, they're pretty sharp.
NFL is definitely harder, no doubt.
So if they're going to try to trap you, they're going to trap you, unless there's no more trap.
Yeah,
I still think.
All right.
No,
I just thought it was an interesting.
I think the main thing too is what you said about how Stu, like the information, the average gambler is so much more informed than they were even like 5 years ago.
Yeah, because of social media.
Yeah, 100%. And just how like now it's become so national where like it's legal, everyone's gambling. So it definitely is more like where it felt like you were like in on this, like you see the lower team ranked over like we just talked about over a higher ranked team. It felt like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you were in on the secret. Now it's like everyone knows about that.
Yeah, so Vegas doesn't really have the edges as much anymore because of how public it is, but because of how public it is, the volume is so much more, and they're still making the money.
There are a lot of people betting football that you would not expect to be betting football.
For sure, but they still want like their goal, which it doesn't always happen, obviously, but their goal is to have 50-50 on both sides.
Yes,
that rarely happens in a lot of the games because obviously there's this big, like a Chiefs, for example, like. They're hot like the Bills. Like they're always going to be they're public teams because people just think they're really good, and that's fair. Like this game, I'll be curious to see the money. Like I think there's going to be a lot of money on Miami. I don't know how there couldn't be. I'd be shocked if they weren't public.
No, how did that line open at -2.5 and now it's 3.5? Yeah. Like if you were to trap people, you would have
But that kind of is the trap though.
Vegas is even letting people know what they need. You've started to see,
sure.
There's a certain guy everyone hates, but let's face it, like he does put the tweets out every week. He shows what Vegas needs. Like, hey, these are the 3 most public sides.
Yes.
Or where it's at. There's a lot of that information out there. They're willing to give that, which is interesting because for years it was guarded and it was like you just have to know and,
I put a future in the NFL.
Who is it?
Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Just letting everyone know.
Don't hate that. And you know what else I don't hate, Marty? Foaling.
Love that.
Foaling is taking the country by storm. It's big in the upper Midwest in Michigan. I saw some comments where somebody is doing it in Atlanta. There's a Foaling Center in Atlanta. That's in Georgia. So it's all over the country. Foaling is a rowdy mashup of football and bowling. First team to knock down all 10 of their opponents' pins wins. It was born at the Indy 500 in 2001. Foaling is wildly popular where it all started and taking the nation by storm. I've said that already. It's football and bowling. Bowling pins, football in your hand, knock down the pins, drink a beer, slap your buddy on the back, have fun. I have no idea why Za is like he's landing an airplane.
It's a flight controller.
Flight control. Yeah, I used to do that, by the way. I know how to do those sticks. I know how to do those sticks.
Okay, finish the ad.
I know how to do the
sticks. I need to ask a legitimate question.
Upgrade your tailgate. Use Barstool 20 for 20% off and free shipping on a Foaling set at playfoaling.com. That's playfoaling.com. I have the EBO stats to know. Do you want to ask a question about me landing those
first
planes?
of all, I love Foaling. Everyone loves Foaling. Pat your buddy on the back. Have a good time. Second of all, aren't they like really, really good jobs, air traffic controllers?
Well, that's not an air traffic controller. Air traffic controller is the guy in the tower.
Yeah, no, but what the people waving?
They're union jobs at most places. They're decent jobs.
Can I quiz you on the signals?
Yeah.
How do you tell them to cut off the engine?
I don't even remember. I remember how to turn on the engine was like point at the engine and do this.
Okay.
I don't remember how to tell him to cut off the engine. Maybe this.
Let me ask you this: did the airport?
No, this is stop.
Yep. So stop, and then the X is to cut off.
And next, yeah, okay, I got it.
Let me ask you this:
this is turn right.
Yep.
Did the runway?
This is turn left.
Did the runway at the airport? Did the runway at the airport where you worked in Mississippi? Was it grass?
You thought you had something there, didn't you?
No, I'm asking.
No, but one time.
Okay.
One time, it was at night, and we couldn't let a plane take off because there was a pack of coyotes on the runway.
Of course.
And we had to get the security guard in his truck to run down the runway and scare him off with a horn.
It's like us and elephants and the bush ones.
Good catch.
Before you proceed, Brandon, my people out there that are just watching, if you can do me a favor, I have a contract negotiation coming up soon, and they're going to be looking at the YouTube account for my contract negotiation. So if you don't want my ass to go back to Zimbabwe, if you can smash the like button, I'll
like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. It's the only way.
Smash it.
It's the only way we're keeping ZA in this country.
Yes, wait, why are we not,
free of charge?
Why are we
So
not tweeting out? We have to. How many subscribers do we have?
I don't know.
We should make a number, or Zaz go back to Zimbabwe, because people will smash the shit out of it.
I'll put that on the line. Yep, I will put that on the line.
If we don't get it, we're going to have to ship him off.
People will get it. No one wants to ship him back.
Evo stats to know. Daniel Jones is now 0-9 in primetime games.
Damn.
Not great.
Not his fault.
Stanford is on a 10-game against the spread losing streak dating back to last season. Minnesota 17-7-2 against the spread in conference play since 2019. Clemson 17-8 against the spread against top 10 opponents under Dabo. I think Clemson's a must bet this weekend.
I think so too.
Yeah, I know. I like.
I don't think it's after the more I've watched NC State.
I'll give out NC State on Pick'em, and I'm going to be rooting for NC State.
It's a top 10 matchup. Clemson lives for these.
Last week,
Clemson lives for these, and NC State doesn't know how to act in these. Like that, it's going to be a foreign environment.
They can't throw the ball the way Wake.
NC State would have been a way better spot if Clemson beat the shit out of Wake.
And the biggest game this weekend in college football, Air Force plays who's Air Force? Navy. Air Force plays Navy. Service Academy unders 41-9-1 since 2005.
So I want to see if that number's out yet.
I also have a stat for you if you want.
The total now one's 37.5.
No, can you get me team totals on that?
I think I'm going to give Kate my seat on the yak. I need.
We do not have team totals out yet.
Okay. Shouldn't be here.
So all right. So the spread is 15 and the total is 37.5. And I know Navy is familiar with Air Force. Air Force is way better than Navy. What do you put Air Force's team total at in that game?
In this game against
37 and you're laying 15. Yeah, like 24? Like Air Force's team total is a look.
Like 25.5, 26.
Okay. That's
every time you fall in love with Air Force team total over, it seems like it's a bad thing for you.
I know. And then the next week they score.
No,
50.
but this is like a straight up number. You're telling me they're supposed to win by 15, and the line's only 37. The number's gonna be like as soon as they for them to cover the 15 or get near the 15, they got to score 21 to 25.
Yeah, it's gonna be 25.5, I think, right?
Yeah,
make the math
just worth. Yeah.
Ebo, I don't think some of these statements on this college football weekend recap are correct.
Which one would be incorrect?
Did you let any Homer feelings, you being a JMU alum and fan?
Why would I do that?
Well, I'll just read the sentence. James Madison completes 28-3 comeback, marking the greatest comeback in the history of football.
I actually agree.
But I don't think that's technically right.
No, I think
you can have your own opinion.
It's not.
I think the Patriots you could see coming back.
No.
AMU.
No, the greatest comeback in football history is the miracle at the Meadowlands too. Am I wrong? Am I right?
No, it's well in the NFL. It's got to be the Bills, Oilers in the playoffs.
Marshall had a bowl game. They were down $1 million.
I'm with Ebo.
In high school.
I'm with Ebo. I think everyone thought JMU could.
No, stop. This is not the greatest comeback in the history of football.
Might be.
Mississippi State came back from 28-3 last year.
App State beat A&M. By de facto, James Madison greater than A&M.
I don't think by de facto is a phrase at all.
It's so facto.
Well, de facto. You're de facto. They're the de facto champion.
All right.
I have one more stat.
Oh, my God.
Stephon Diggs, 344 receiving yards. Waddle, 342. Hill, 317. Brown, 309. Chicago Bears, 297.
Oh, God. Where was Cup on that list? Cup not on that list?
I don't know.
You see the pass he dropped? last week.
Speaking of drops, CeeDee Lamb just can't be a number 1 receiver after that.
What? Yeah, but that catch was pretty sick for the touchdown.
Yeah, it's fine, but my God, the drop.
That was a little hairy.
Bad drop.
If Lamb,
Very bad
Lamb
drop.
catches that, he
was
would have hit
huge.
the double dip, but him dropping it helped us with the over. I was in
If he catches that, the under does not hit.
No, it doesn't. But the double dip was 10-1, so I was in a big I was in plus signs both ways.
Okay, so you were taken care of. You're just worrying
It's
about.
just-
Should I worry about myself as an individual, or
And then
the
it got
team?
even more layered because I'm rooting for the Giants. Giants are my team, so it's a little, my head was spinning.
You know what? F it, Rico. How about you give us? Because sometimes in life you just got to say F it and free your fire. And today we have the Fireball F it pick of the day. And you're my F it guy. Rico, what's the Fireball F it pick of the day?
So with bad baseball games, chase the plus sign. Meaningless games, the A's against the Angels. Give me the A's plus the 185. It's two bad teams. Why not? The A's have already showed some fight, trying to ruin the Mets season the other day. A's can be pesky. You got two bad teams. You chase the plus sign, plus 185. The Angels stink. So do the A's. Give me the plus sign.
I think it moved, too, on the sportsbook. I think it's at 190 now.
Okay, even better.
F it pick of the day is the Oakland A's plus
F it, Oakland
190.
A's plus that's the dog of the day on hot ice.
What's hot ice? Is that a hockey show?
Yes.
I like the pick, but I couldn't imagine sitting there on my Tuesday having to watch the Athletics
At
Well,
the
I
Angels.
mean,
at the Angels.
but that's where you're at in baseball right
That
now.
is
You're
the
either
F it,
betting
that's-
on.
Well, I mean, for whatever reason, the Angels are like minus 210. I have no idea why.
That's the reason why it's the
idea.
F it pick of the day.
Yeah.
You're sitting there saying, fuck it. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right, let's do our picks. Big Ev, why don't you get us started?
All right, so today I am on the. Let me pull mine up real quick.
Right there.
There we go. With the Braves Nationals over 8.5. Tigers money line today and the Twins money line. I put these in live rather than these two boozes on me. I'm also for my dog of the day, hot ice. I'm on the Orioles plus 112 and the Cardinals money line. Also hit parade plus 215, going for plus 23 units
23
today.
tonight.
Big one. Today's hitting today. Hit parade. Cash.
Rico Bosco.
All right, I am on the Oakland A's plus 185. Braves Nats over 8.5. Astros over 4.5 runs. The Astros are still trolling out starters, even though they've locked everything up. They love scoring runs. Hit parade is plus 210. Brandon, quick question: Do you know that a guy named Vinny Pasquantino is in the hit parade today?
I do not know the Vinny Pasquantino.
Okay, now here's the two-part question: do you think I made that name up, or do you think he's really a major leaguer?
I'm guessing because if you've got him in a bet, he is real.
You're not confident,
But that is a
right?
name you would make up.
You're not confident, right?
No, I'm 70% confident it's real.
Exactly. He's real. He's on a 10-game hit streak. He's hitting 283. And I vowed we would get him in the hit parade. So Vinny Pasquantino.
And tell me the truth. If in fourth grade you were having to write a creative writing project for school, and you had to create a character, it might have been named
Absolutely.
Vinny Pasquantino.
Vinny Pasquantino.
Marty Mush.
I've already put out there floated if he gets the hit parade today, you make shirts with the Sitch Reality's front sign and just put Pasquantino's instead of it.
Who do he play for?
How many would
Take a
sell
guess.
that?
That's the best part. Is the three of us would wear it
Who
on
does
the show.
Pasquantino play for?
Take a guess.
Oh my bad.
Royals.
My bad.
I mean,
I don't
Royals. Royals.
No, yeah, that's. I mean, you can watch all the baseball. You still wouldn't know who that guy is.
Marty Mush.
I got the Yankees, I got the Rays, and I got the Cardinals money line. Saquon last night really helped me out scoring that first touchdown because I was going to go over 3 and I am struggling.
What's your name? Smitty.
Phillies Cubs for some reason under 6.5, but for good reason.
You okay? You only have 3 plays.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I added one. It's not on the graphic. Braves minus 1.5. Reds slinging Hunter Green on the mound. Also, I love this play. Phillies Cubs first run, no inning combined with the Braves money line. It's like plus 120, I think.
You know, last night you had anytime scoreless quarter. You
Yeah.
flirted with that thing like
It was close.
twice.
It was close.
Yeah.
Good bet. I gave it out on the show, but I didn't bet it. Somebody sent me later. I couldn't find it. No touchdowns. The entire game was plus 5,000. I was talking about it all day. Didn't lay it. I was praying for a touchdown in the third quarter.
Marty, I need you to join with me on something I do on Sundays.
What's that?
I pick 2 or 3 games and bet them to go to overtime.
Oh, my God. I was just going to bring that up.
It's electric.
I bet in the third quarter that the Vikings and Lions were going to go to overtime.
It should have.
And I edited the tweet. I almost tweeted it, waiting for it to happen, and then wide open touchdown.
See the three I had? I had the Titans Raiders. The Raiders missed a 2-point conversion to go to overtime.
Oh.
I had the Lions Vikings, and I had the Bears Texans, which should have gone to overtime.
It went to overtime. Yeah.
Why are you also not a draw at halftime guy?
I don't know, something about
All right.
because
You would have got paid out on the Lions Vikings.
witching hour,
positive.
everything
Yeah, it
just
was
comes
tied.
crazy.
Yeah.
And to have that juice, to have that going is
Vikings scoring a touchdown there was insane.
there's no chance they scored a touchdown there.
I know, like it was just run the ball.
And it was so easy.
There's no one there. That's the Lions, though. I was in Detroit for that, but Lions fans were so sad.
I've got Reds Pirates under 7, Yankees money line, Braves -1.5 because Smitty was right yesterday. Braves got to have every game. They're playing a bad team. They're gonna handle business.
Also love the over in that game because
Yeah, they got a bad pitcher. And the Paulo Espola is 0-7. Espino, horrible. Braves might get that by themselves.
Is the music playing?
Yeah.
Sir.
All right. So that's Pick Central. We'll have more topics tomorrow, more stuff. Everybody in tomorrow? You might be, you might not be. You don't know.
TBD.
Thursday.
Time.
The time, TDB. We'll find out. It's an office door.
Oh.
All right. That's Pick Central. The Yak is up next.